HAFIZ TV, unique every day.
Nurturing growth, fostering knowledge, and empowering the next generation is truly remarkable. Ladies, please join me in a warm welcome to our esteemed chairperson, Miss Aisha Kadir Adam, to deliver the keynote speech.
Assalamu alaikum once again. It's indeed humbling to give a keynote address, a key and a note. Sitting amongst my sisters, distinguished in their own fields, I'm humbled the more. But on this day, the International Women's Day 2025. Okay, so under this particular theme for this particular program by Young Women Leaders Network, honoring exceptional Muslim women, breaking barriers. So I want to believe the target is about being able to break barriers. And as women, there are barriers on every aspect of our life. And that's what makes us women. That's what any community that you find the women up and doing in all aspects, you would see that the community is thriving. I want to believe that in the course of the conversations, more insights will be shared. But let me take this opportunity to share a few insights on my very young journey as a woman. In the course of the introduction, I heard someone say, so that we can show them that what men can do, women can also do. The men are not in competition with us. The men complement us. Is there something that you can do that a man cannot do? Hello, young ladies. Like what? Give me an example. Giving birth, right? Okay. Yes. Giving birth, right? So the same way there is something that a woman can do and a man cannot do. It's the same way there will be something that a man can do and a woman cannot do. It doesn't make you lesser of a human being. Allah created men and He created women. In fact, if men were not on earth, we can cope. We can survive, right? We complement each other. So I just want to encourage all of us that, see, if you look at it as I'm in a competition with some boy or some man there, then that becomes your focus. And once that becomes your focus, you lose it. We are not here to compete with them. We are here to complement them the very way they are also here to complement us. And know that Allah in the Quran has enshrined certain responsibilities and certain duties of a woman. It doesn't mean it is the only thing that you can do. You do not have to choose one for the other. Should I go to school and be empowered? Yes. To the highest point that you can. But that does not mean that your motherly duties will be relegated to the background. Nide na so in J school. Eso kariko ezo emini kwalisa. Right? That's what we've been saying, right? I want to be independent. It's good. But just remember that and we need them to see us not as competitors, but as complementers, so that we can fulfill what Allah has destined for each one of us. Should I be empowered? Yes. Should I be educated? Yes. but I am not in competition with nobody. I'm in competition with myself. The most important thing is my version today should be better than my version yesterday. And my version tomorrow should be better than my version today. And inshallah, bi'idhnillah, you would realize that you keep moving forward. So this is what I would say in the beginning. Possibly as the conversations come, we can have more interactions, inshallah. Thank you so much for making time to be here. And I pray that this will be a fruitful session for all of us. Thank you.
I always knew I was not in competition with anybody, but this is the first time I've actually heard someone say, let's compliment the men and have them compliment us. Have you heard of that before? And it makes sense, right? Because if today we are competition, if a guy blows you, you fall down. You don't have the strength that a guy have, right? But we can choose to cheer them on, and we should expect that when we also want to move forward, they cheer us on, right? So can we clap for our chairperson? So we have the inspirational dialogue aspects, and it's about breaking barriers. So I don't know for you, but I feel like I'm a little bit selfish, and I believe I'm allowed to be selfish, because sometimes if you want something for yourself, or if you want to drink this water and there's a bunch of people around, the wisest thing you have to do is serve yourself first, then pour the rest to everybody. Because if you start pouring for everybody else, you have nothing to. So I think we are allowed to be selfish sometimes, right? And that's the same way with life, where you want to achieve something. And to do that, you have to put in dedication. You have to put in the time, the effort to be able to achieve it. Because you can't say you want to be a journalist, then go and sit down and be watching TV and TikTok. It doesn't work that way. Please, do we know that? So you need to put yourself in positions to develop. And in breaking barriers, sometimes it's us. Sometimes we want to do something, but then we don't want to do it. Then we want someone to push us to do it. Then we don't do it. Then like, what are you won't achieve anything right there, right? Now the women that we have here, whether they started with just having the passion for it, with just wanting to improve themselves, they've been there, they've done that. To the extent that they've opened doors, they've created a platform for fellow women to develop from it, to gain from it. Now, I want to know, how did they do it? The barriers, because when people hear of Zongo girl, a girl from Zongo, they look at her like, aren't you supposed to be bad? You're not supposed to be intelligent. You're supposed to be, forgive me for saying the sha. You're supposed to be chaotic. You're supposed to be seeking violence. Like, nothing good should happen to the Zongo girl, which is a lie. Because guess what? We are more than that, right? So let's hear from our honorees today, how they got there, what they did to get there, and how can we also follow their footsteps and maybe get there and beyond. Are we up for it? Please, can we clap for them?
As the journey goes, there are some challenges we would face. But then most importantly, we are also looking at ways forward. What can we do to be able to break these barriers that we come across? Let me share my story. So growing up, in our Zongo communities, you don't find most of our mothers having to sit you down to talk to you about reproductive health in general. So there are a lot of things that I had to learn on my own. There are lots of things that I had to learn from school, from friends. So I was asking, for me, I'm able to get that information that I need due to the kind of advocacy I do. What about the other young girl from a very deprived community who doesn't get anybody to talk to her, who doesn't even have the resources to search online to get all the needed information? So I was sitting in a church one day, and then a girl who was outside tapped me. I turned and looked at her, and she told me that, Madam, Mipacho, Enemanko school. I hope you all understand Chi. And then I asked her why, and she said she's in her menses, but then she doesn't have money for sanitary pad. So she's not able to go to school. There's this man behind me, and he said, Madam, not much disca from people. For me, it's not about the money I have to give her to get a sanitary pad, but the fact that a girl is not going to school because she's menstruating was striking for me. Because I could remember growing up how difficult it was for some of us to even afford sanitary pad. And then we end up using rags, which are also not healthy for us in one way or the other. So if the girl is telling me the truth or not, for me, the fact that she's mentioned menstruation and then she's not going to school, I was ready to give her the money. So I sat and spoke to some of my friends. What can we do to help other young girls in our communities who are also growing up and face similar challenges? Because for all you know, there are 1,001 girls who go through that challenge of getting sanitary pads during that time of the month. And we can all relate to it. Even for some of us who can even afford, there are times that our menses come unexpected and then we don't even have the sanitary materials. So we thought of starting Save the Red Days, where we are going to educate young girls on menstrual hygiene management, and also give them the sanitary pads so that they can use. But then even with that, we're looking at how we can continuously keep giving girls sanitary pads over and over again. What can we do differently from giving them sanitary pads? So we thought of engaging these girls in their various communities. What can we do? Who are your parents? What do you for most of the girls, they're even in school, so there's no way they can engage in any work to take care of themselves. So we reached out to their parents. We encouraged the parents to have that conversation with them, because as a growing girl, we know the communities we come from, and we know the challenges that are associated in these communities. There are girls who get pregnant because they can't afford sanitary pads, because one boy somewhere would want to have sex with them and then give them money for sanitary pads. There are girls who are using rags, and at the end of the day, we all know the health implications that comes with using rags for sanitary pads. There are lots of stories over and over again. So for me and my friends, we thought about giving these girls sanitary pads. At the end of the day, we are also equipping them with some skills they can do. If you are not in school, then we engage you in some skills that at least it can fetch you some money at the end of the month so that you can afford sanitary pads. And we also talk to the parents. Some fathers are not really worried about all of these issues, but then for the mothers, and it has always been their responsibility taking care of the girls and all of those. So we appeal to the mothers that these are your young daughters, and any small thing that you do now would one day at the end of the day inhibit growing up, like when they grow up and then they turn into womanhood. So the mothers are also equipped with some small skills to be able to cater for these children. So for me, it has been the friends I have. I always say that when you are picking friends, pick intentional friends, people that would uplift you. Like you mentioned, sometimes you need to be selfish. People would ask you who your friends are. And there are people who are picking you as a friend for a particular reason. You should also be able to pick a friend for a particular reason. If a friend is not adding anything to you, I don't think you would want to give that space to that person. So I had intentional friends who were willing. There were times that we seek for donations to get sanitary materials for girls and we don't even get it. But the kind of friends I have, one person single-handedly for one particular year bought all the sanitary pads that we needed, and then we just had to go do the education and distribute to these girls. So for today, I would want to say that as for the challenges, there are a lot of challenges that women go through day in, day out. But beyond the challenges, how do we look at these challenges and create a world of equality for all women? For me personally, I always believe that I would always advocate for equity rather than equality. A quick scenario, all four of us sitting there. In terms of height, we are all different. So if you are going to talk about equality, if you are to be given this chair, we want to see beyond this gate, and we are all given this chair to stand on it. Definitely some people will still be taller than others because the height differs. But then we are all given the same chair, which is the equality we are all seeking for. I would seek for equity for us as women, that we should do more of advocacy on equity rather than the equality, because for equity, what are some of the resources that if it's given to Alima and is given to me, I would also be able to reach that same height. Maybe Alima just needs one step to reach where she wants to reach, but I would need like 5 steps. But if you are seeking for equality, does it mean that because Alima is given one, I should also be given one because we are all seeking for equality. So it's more of what can we give to that person in need at that point in time to make sure that everybody reaches that goal that they need to get to. Quickly, before I wrap up, it has been very key for us, or for me personally, the issue of mentorship for young girls. Growing up, I didn't have anybody to mentor me. I joined one or two organizations or clubs, if I should say, volunteering with them and all of those things. So I got that mentorship even from men. But for us as women who find ourselves in the Zongo community, how do we mentor other young girls to get to where we are or even beyond? Because for me, if I'm going to mentor a young girl, it's not about the young girl being like me. I want to see that young girl doing more than I have. For that, I would be able to say that, yes, I've mentored one particular person and she's doing marvelously. Sometimes you say women are our own enemies. I didn't want to bring this. It has been like a discussion over the years that people say, I don't believe in that. I believe that as young women or women who are rising, I'm sure for some of us here, we have women we look up to. Maybe they could be closer to us, maybe they could be far. But it's high time that even for us here, we're able to look at one person and say that I would want to mentor this girl to be like me or to be more than me. When I was growing up about 12 years ago, I had the opportunity of being the chairperson for UNFPA's State of the World Population Report. And at that time, I could say I was about 17 years at that time. And I was the only young person in the room. And I was the chairperson. When I was called upon, I said, okay, I would be there for the program. But on that morning of the program, I looked at the program outline that was sent to me and the dignitaries that were going to be in that program. And I didn't want to attend because I felt that I was too young to be able to do that sharing of that occasion. It was a big program because globally, UNFPA's issue their reports every year. And then one of my mentors called me that day. Binta, where are you? And I told him I was home. He said, you're supposed to be at the program. And I said, yes, but I'm afraid. I don't think I can do it. He said, no, you can. Get there, sit in that room, look around, and pick one person. And always look at that person and say whatever you want to say, and you're able to do it. I dressed up, went there, and I was called. If you ask me today, I don't remember what I even said on that day. But after the program, as young as I was then, the number of women who were far older than me who walked up to me and said they wanted me to be their mentor, I was like, yeah, me, small girl. I didn't even want to attend this program in the first place. But here I find myself having women walk up to me to tell me that they want to be their mentor. It means that whatever I said that day made impact. I don't know how, I don't know what I said, but there is one striking message that I remember giving out there. And I told them that morning that I was afraid to come and sit here today. And they all laughed. But then I think that from my mentor and what he told me that morning gave me that free mind, free heart to be able to walk there and equally share my challenges and whatever it was as a growing girl from the Zongo community. And why am I even sharing this story? It's about the issue of mentorship that I mentioned earlier. So I think that for all of us seated here, we can do it. Take one girl in a very small, your own small way. What can you do to make sure that that girl would grow up and then you'll be proud of that girl. You'll be proud that in one way or the other, you have also made an impact in that girl's life. And I think that is something we are lacking in our various Zongo communities. So for me, my appeal today as a Zongo woman would be for us to mentor other young girls. The challenges would always be there, but what can we do differently? How can we use the challenges to move forward? We are fighting for equality. But if we don't move, the theme for this year globally is accelerate action. If we don't move, if we don't put in action, we will not get to where we want to get to. So for every young girl here today listening to us, we are all powerful in our own small ways. In our little corner, you think that nobody is seeing what you are doing, but there's somebody I am out there who is seeing exactly what you are doing. And like our chairperson mentioned, the men are not our competition. I always work with men, and I call them he for she's, because when I call on them today, they are always there to support all the cause I do for young people. And definitely, the men are not our competition, but our allies. So on this occasion, I would end here. Probably there will be questions, I'm sure. Happy International Women's Day to all of us, and let's keep making ourselves proud. Thank you.
I'll come to myself first, but when I see young girls, I just get excited. If you know me, like, I always want to get into your minds and what you are thinking, who is inspiring you, what is it that you want to do, what is it that you want to become. Nobody's pressuring you to do anything, peer pressure, all those things. If you have found a way to avoid it and stay steadfast in your own lane. One thing that I always realize that is missing out is peer pressure and being your own self, not following the crowd. Peer pressure. It's something that up till today, even at our age, we still face. It's like a disease that you must do your very best to avoid, right? You always have to find a way to find your own voice, your own person, your own perspective, and not to carry favors for others. You should be comfortable in your own skin. Learn to speak your mind. I'm not saying be disrespectful. Speaking your mind is not disrespect. A cousin of mine went abroad, came back, and once I was having a conversation with him, and he was like, sorry, I'll try and translate. Night afia na koya wana ana cheme fadin gaskiya ma gida ana cheme rashin kunya. So wait, I traveled, got exposed, and so basically he learned how to basically stand up for himself and speak his mind and speak truth to power. But then when it comes to our culture, it's disrespect because you are not allowed to speak up or speak your mind. That's why I said not disrespectfully. If someone is asking you to do something that you are not comfortable with, it is wrong. And just because the person is an elderly person, you have to go along with it. No. Just as your peers, when they ask you to, get yourself into some sort of trouble, you should always find your voice and know there's something called inside, we call that our instincts. Your instinct is never wrong. And how do you know what your instinct is telling you? The moment you hear or see the thing, you will feel it, that whether it's right or wrong, you will know. So you should always listen to your instincts. And please, there's this thing that it's become I don't know if it's a fashion or it's become like everybody wants to have a role model. Oh, this person is my role model. Find within your home, your mother should be your first role model. And I pray to God you have parents that are, direct, because astaghfirullah, we have some parents that didn't know any better. They found themselves in some circumstances and there's nothing to emulate there, but there's always something there. If it was wayward, you go to Makaranta, you go to school, you have mentors that talk to you and everything. So if there's anything, I can always have this saying that role model, it can be either a role model that you are aspiring to be or not to be like. Either way, it's a role. It's either you are following it or you are not following it. But within your home, you should always have that person you look up to before you move outside. I don't know if I'm making any sense here, right? I'll be honored if someone says she looks up to me, but I always tell them, before you look up to me, please find someone within your home, within your circle, someone you always have close to you, close to your heart. Because that person out there, maybe you only see the person on Facebook. Not everything on Facebook is real. So don't read or watch a video or see something happening there and assume or presume for it to be the right thing. Unfortunately, we have social media and it's here to stay. There's nothing we can do. But then there is a good and there is bad. And we always have to find our way to find the good in it. It's very, very important. Social media is like okunfo donfo. Do you understand, Chi? Social media is like wukan flour. You know the butcher's knife. You can cut with both sides. So it can be good and it can be bad. Some of you here are in school. Maybe many of you, because you all look really, really young, are in school, right? But you have your small petty business be that you are starting somehow, trying to be an entrepreneur and everything. So you use social media to, sell yourself, advertise your words. That's a good thing. There are muallims, ulamaus on social media that are doing wazi and everything. It's a good thing, But then there's that young girl that always is half naked dress and everything, and then she's teaching you how to twerk. Well, yeah, it has its ups and downs. So twerking too, if you are married, maybe it will help you. If you are not, then. So we should always try to look within our circles. I always say, if my child, I have 2 girls and 2 boys, I have 4 kids. If they do not look up to me, if I'm not their role model, then I have failed. So we should always look within our family. We will always have that one person there. And then you start talking to a person. The person will start opening you, exposing you to good things. I'm not saying that our peers are always pushing us into bad. There will be this girl that she's always dragging, let's go to madrasa, let's go to halakha, let's go. It's good, right? Let's go to the library. I'm not saying it should always be school and makaranta all the time. Or being away, all play and all work. Yeah, you know that everybody knows that rhyme, right? But we should know how to balance it. And once you are able to figure that thing out, you will earn the respect of your peers. But if you are always following back, you are just following, you don't have a mind of your own, unfortunately, you fall back. And I know it's intimidating out there. It is. But that's why we are here. That's why many of your elders are there. And I know there are a lot of conversations that is difficult to have in our homes. But I'm praying that now generation is changing, because there's no conversation that I do not have with my daughters. And I hope that whatever that is bothering you, you go to your mother, your auntie, your elder sister, your elder cousin, and have the conversation. Because when you do it outside among your peers, sometimes you may get it wrong. I have a childhood friend. I was living in Arizona then. She called me. I don't want to, because there's no time. She called me. I'm just trying to, and she was contemplating abortion. And I told her no. So I'm like, you can't do that. If it's your mom, find someone that your mom listens to. Right? Find someone that your mom listens to plead on your behalf. At this time, she was, I think, about 26, 27. She's a Christian, but she was not married. So obviously, it's a problem. Today, the girl is grown up, living in the States, and she's like breaking all barriers. She is her pride and joy now. I mean, accidents happen, mistakes happen, but don't make it worse by, complicating your issue. There are so many things as young women that you'll be facing. I keep stressing on speaking to someone close in your circle, because there are things that you will face as you are growing. We've all been there. Well, at least I know my share of wahala I've been through. And like she rightly said, we did not have mentors then. Nobody is there to come and guide you. Nobody is there to speak. I've never been into a program like this as a young girl. Never. So alhamdulillah for the lives of my beautiful slave. Where is she? Yeah, she's my slave, by the way. The likes of her thinking of initiatives like this to bring you all together, so you take, even if you don't learn anything, something will be stuck to you, and you forever remember it as you age, and then you send it back to whoever is looking up to you as well. So for me too, I think I will end here. For me, I don't have much to say about myself. Me na she also. I'll pass the mic if you have any questions. But you already said it. Did you already say it that I'm a fashion designer? Hey. So I did not just get up and get into fashion. You see, that's another story. But the long short of it, I have my degree in financial accounting. I'm an accountant. But I've always been passionate about fashion. And just like growing up, you are done with school, na saying dinky. Zuka eke dinky. You get me? But they are forgetting that the clothes on their backs was made by Medinki. And we live in a society whereby it's not a Muslim country. So we have to be ordering our garments from Dubai, from Turkey. And yesterday I saw someone make a post that there is a abaya for 7,500 cedis. I mean, come on. That's someone's 1 year uni fee, maybe 2 years, ma. You understand? So my reason for going into fashion is to have modest wear, be fashionable. You can sit in your office and still be stylish. You can wear a abaya and still rock it and not feel like, oh, I'm too covered. Don't I look good as I'm sitting? So I'm just using like fashion to spread Islam in my own way. That you can dress like me and still like kill it in every room. You know, be in the corporate world because they also have their attire. There's a corporate look. But then we have the obligation of being Muslim women and we have to be covered. How do you bridge that gap? Because I'm a Muslim, when I'm making an outfit that is a long sleeve and is fitted, I know to put a zip there because you make an ablution. But that really good seamstress or fashion designer or tailor, she's really good, but she will not think of you as a Muslimah, that you have to be able to access your hands to make wudu. So those are the little things that made me go into fashion to solve a problem while looking, fashionably good. Okay? So if you have any questions later, we can talk, inshallah.
I am very happy at the caliber of audience we have. And for me, growing up at this age was the turning point for me. And it could be for you. I started my organization, I was 17 years. I did not even know what I was doing. But today, it's an international brand. Today, what I did and I thought I was just playing around has become my career. It has become my definition. And like they mentioned, during our time, there were no mentors. I particularly found myself growing up in a Christian-dominated area. My primary school, from nursery to GHS, I was the only Muslim, only Northerner in my school. Like, the stereotype was very high. But what made me stood out was I was good. Then I go to a secondary school, Wesley Girls. You won't pray, you won't do that, you won't do this. Then it's like I was from challenges to challenges. But one thing that kept me going was what I wanted to become. I know a lot of you here by now have some very nice diary with some locker on it that has key, right? What do you write in that diary? Is it about a guy at the back there and how you cannot sleep without texting him? This is not the time. This is not that time, please. This is the time for you to write that one day I want to be on the international space. I want to be on the stage. Or I want to be the mother of very beautiful children who are HAFIZ. I want to, your dreams, like, no matter what you want to be, please, it's valid. So far as you don't want to smoke weed, please, or do child trafficking, that one we won't allow. But if you want to be someone, one day stay in your home, do home decor, maybe do baking, do dressmaking, like she mentioned, please, it's not for Zukai. It's not. In fact, dressmaking is such that if you are not smart, you can't do it.
Exactly. It's creativity.
If you are not smart, every day when you do, the armpit of the dress will be at the back. I'm a tailor small. Whatever you want to be is valid. But it is up to you to prove to the people around you that you know what you want. You can't tell us that you want to grow and be, let's say, a doctor. It's very common. But then you don't want to go to school unless they chase you with cane. When they send you to school, the next day you are nowhere to be found. They put you here, you are there. They put you there, you are here. Please, are you proving a point? You are not. I will not go around where they went to. I'm just talking to my little sisters. And I'm very happy that it is your kind that is here, not some older people. They are not, these people are not our target, you are the target. I want to tell you today that all of you here could one day grow into something very beautiful. Something that we will all sit back and look at and be like, I am so proud to associate with this lady. And know that it will not be smooth. It will not be smooth at all. At a point, it will look like it's a marriage. You don't really know where you are going, but it's like you are going. Please go. Don't give up. Sometimes the hardest point is sometimes you finish senior high school and what to take you to university is not there. Sometimes you finish senior high school and because of some few challenges in the house, you are being asked to maybe do dressmaking and you think that's failure. See, pray over it. It's probably your calling. I'm going to give a very good example here. My younger sister, whilst in senior high school, she felt like school is not my thing. Like school, it's not like she was bad, but to wake up early every morning and go to school, it was not her thing. So she decided to drop out. And then she started learning cakes because she had a passion for cakes. Today, who knows Kadi's Kitchen? Kadi's Kitchen is big. I won't say $1 million. She hasn't reached there yet, but like, it's big. And if you see her, you might never think that she decided to stop going to school. We were all mad. We all thought like school was it. And there's me, who has gone to the school, gone to the university, did the masters, did the what. One day my mother was like, school now couldn't be. Then there is the one who didn't, but she started earning the millions. And the me who went to school was still chewing books. Like I was still chewing books. But gradually, we are all at a point where we look back and we say, Alhamdulillah. Yesterday, I was on a call with her. Then she said, Umi, me know there. It's like, I feel nenyami shrai. Like, ya breast, I feel nenyami shrai. That is what she said. And it resonates with me. It's like we've battled and it is now time for the blessings. So know that no matter the path you choose, if it is school you want to go, it will not be easy. If it is not school you want to go, it will not be easy. Everything in life is not easy. But they say, if you don't go through the pain, you will not enjoy the success. If every day you get food, you don't value food. But okay, we are fasting. If every day you eat, now that you are not eating, how does it feel? How does iftar feels? All the goodness about iftar is just the part of the hunger. If you are not hungry, what is mango? It's because you are hungry. That is why the kenke is sweet. If you are not hungry, who drinks mashed kenke? Assess. If not Ramadan, do you take mashkenke at 6? No. So until you go through the hurdles in life, the sweetness or the little things are not sweet. So when it's time for you to go through it, let me conclude by saying pray. Pray to Allah. And when you pray, tell him that he should give you the patience to endure his qadr for you. We don't have all the time for me to talk about all the things I had to go through. But there was one very significant event in my life that I believe Allah blessed me with. He first blessed me with a beautiful set of twin girls. And we were all happy. Twins, 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 twins. Then 1 year later, we discovered that one of them had a hole in heart. So, Nkolebu said we should go and bring 10,000 US dollars. Hey, where will I find 10,000 US dollars? Like, that time in my degree, I hadn't finished, not to talk of look for a job. But there was one striking event in that. I can't tell you the whole story. But right from the day at the hospital, the doctor said, he knows, I know a little about medicine. I did health and those things. Then he asked me, what is your doctor's condition? Then I was looking at him. Then he said, say it. Accept it. And I said, hole in heart. Then we just had our little talk about it. But that moment, he wanted me to swallow it. That was where the shock was. But after that, sincerely, Allah is my witness, I really did not feel anything bad about my daughter's condition. I had some strong conviction that it was a blessing. They said Allah is who you think of him to be. And at that moment, the only thing I thought was that this is a gift and this is a blessing. And it turned out to be a very big blessing. There's so much I could talk about that. But I'm just using it as an example to tell you that Allah is who you think of him to be. Whether you are in challenges, whether you are in the sweetest of moments, Allah is who you think of him to be. If you are in challenges and you think Allah can take you out of those challenges and give you blessings, you will get it. If you are in the sweetest moments and you think Allah can take you out of that and even send you into bigger, sweeter moments, you will get it. It is always who you think Allah is and how you relate with him. Last week, somebody told me that, Alima, you are doing well. But what is striking me is you took an Islamic brand where we all fear to sometimes even name our things after something Islamic. But you took an Islamic brand, then you sent it international. He really kind of brought me back to reflect on what I was doing. Never feel shy that you are a Muslim. And please, this thing, never feel shy of it. Wherever you stand, stand firm. I always, since I was a child, never wanted to work for someone because I didn't want to be forced to take these things off me. And Allah paved the way. Today, I am rather the employer, not the employee. So nobody will tell me to take this thing off. If you believe in Allah and learn about Islam, embrace Islam. Let me say, learn about Islam. I'm saying it 2 times. You cannot be a good Muslim if you not learn about Islam. There is never an ending to learning about Islam. I'm delving this angle because our mothers have done the others. But one thing that's sometimes a problem is that we grow, then we try to hide the fact that we are Muslims. Because we think that will make us successful. Who makes us successful? Who makes us successful? So if you try to shy away from telling people that you are a less person, if Allah decides to also shy away from you, is he right or wrong? If Allah says you penetrate the sky, no being can stop it. And if Allah says you penetrate it with your hijab, nobody can stop it. So I'm going to end by saying, be Allah's person. Learn about Islam. Practice it. Be firm about it. And think of Allah as you want him to be to you. Thank you.
Educator and headmistress, shaping the future of Zongo children for over 30 decades. 30 decades, people, please, let's clap. Wait, yes, which means 3 decades. There are Ramadan, yeah, you call me. So 30 years ago, that would be 94. 94. 95. I know, eh? 95. I'm sure half of you here weren't born then. And 95, wow. Let me just give it to her. Let her tell us how she was able to break the barriers then.
The journey of my work started when I returned from Saudi Arabia. After studying a little Arabic, I came back. Then I looked at my environment. I looked at the kids then. The standard of education at my community was very, very poor. Yeah. So we decided to do something small. Actually, I wanted to teach Arabic. I wanted to open Islamic school. But what happened was that we already had Arabic school in the house, or in the community. So we thought of why not we start something formal. That was how we started. We started with about just 6 students. 2 of them were my own daughters, who are both now, one is a lawyer and one is a medical doctor. And what I want to just, in short, to say is that once you have passion for something, you have vision for something, know that one day you can do it, you can achieve it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter whether you are far in education or you are not far. Everything starts with a step. Step by step, you'll get there. And if you cannot do it to a certain level, just make sure that those who are coming before you, those who are after you, you push them, give them support, push them. Don't say because I'm not able to get to this level, so let me push some people down. No, if you have the means to push others to get to where you cannot get to, do it. And that is exactly what God helped me to do, with the support of my husband. Because doing this without the support of your husband, you cannot do it. You know how our society is. So all the credits should go to my husband. That's what I always say, because he's very supportive, very, very supportive. I won't say I'm too far in my education, no, but I'm doing my best. Yeah, I did my best, I'm still doing my best. Yeah. Trying to push, trying to support, and I still have a long way to go because I have more dreams that I need to realize by the grace of Almighty Allah. Sure. I don't want to waste your time, just let me just...
go ahead. Go ahead.
So to my ladies, my young ladies here, please, this is a dream I had since I was a girl. Actually, when I didn't start school early. I started school very late, you know. Islamic, I started early, all right, because we Zongo kids, you know. The moment we are born, 2-3 years, we are in the Makaranta. So actually, I grew in it. But my formal education started when I was about 12, 13 years. And in fact, it was like a miracle. I understand, and I still remember that some things happened. And I know they happened because God wanted or wants to use me for something. Because of the way my education, this journey went so fast to the level that I got to. So I'm here today. Actually, when I was a girl, I used to say I want to be a teacher. That's what I used to just sing in my mouth, but I didn't know it will come true like this. So to all of you here who have dreams, please don't give up. Like my lady rightly said, please forget about the guys. Concentrate. Build your what? Your career. Do something for yourself before if you are going to get married out or you do it. You understand? Because you are not sure whether after marriage things are going to work out. But if you have something doing, whatever it is, you can still look after yourself. You can do something for yourself. So that is what I have to say now. I am not good at talking in public. This is my first time. So.
Going to school, let's say we all have this one teacher we all don't really like. Then we always talk behind teachers and everything. But as anyone you are learning from, is not someone you should joke with. They say don't bite the fingers that feeds you. And it's cuts through so many spaces. Your madam is telling you do this, you'll be like, Ben yin, key make a sunny. Now it is not being done like this, it's like this. But you are forgetting you came there to learn because she has the experience, she has the knowledge, the expertise. So at a point in time, we need to unlearn to learn. Because you may know something from watching a movie, from reading, but it doesn't beat experience from somebody who has been through, done that. What? Like in us, we will not get far in life, right? So can we clap for the women we have here right now?
Already making an impact in the corporate environment in their own small ways. So we came up as a group, and we decided that okay, let's look out within our own environment, within our own space, who we think we recognize that they're actually doing something that is very intriguing. We have a lot of women or Muslim women who are doing certain things, but then not everybody is making an impact. As in impact. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. So sometimes we felt like, okay, even as young girls, like for instance, Aja was saying that they've never even had the opportunity to even sit down and know that and have something like this. Yes, the same thing for me. Growing up, I never had something like this. All the people that I was looking up to were people that I was seeing on TV. I didn't have Muslim women to look up to until I grew up. Then I got to know that, okay, I'm not the only one who is going to school. I'm not the only one who is aspiring to be someone or to be somebody in my community. There are other people who are actually doing well. So why don't we recognize these people, bring them together, and let our girls also know that they are not alone. There are people out there who are actually trying to break barriers, and they as women can also do that. So that's how we came about the 5 categories. That's the trailblazer, we have the contributor, we have the change maker, the inspiring leader, and the exemplary woman. So these 5 women seated here are people that we've recognized their work in our community. We've seen that they are doing something that will touch or that should be a lesson to the young girls in the Zongo community. And before I hand it over to the awarding stage, you know, as women, sometimes we really don't take certain things serious. We think it's just normal. Like, for instance, Aja Zalia is into fashion. We think that fashion is normal. But how many of our fashion designers in our community are actually fashion designers that have been able to even be on runways? Tell me. We have a lot of us who after school, we are taking to the nearest Medwin Kitchen community. But how many of us really think that we can take fashion to the next level? We can hit runways with our fashion expertise or our skills. We don't know that. So that's why we thought that no, today we need to recognize these people, and we also need to feel that we can also get there. And for those who are seated there, although we have a few of our women who are here. We also want to see those ladies who are sitting here that you can also one day tell us that you came here and you felt that you can be an astronaut, you can be a pilot, you can be a scientist, you can be you can just be ambitious, and inshallah you'll be able to do it. Thank you so much.
I'm Selma Lad Mutawakil. So before we start giving the awards, I would like to recognize the presence of Hadiza Ibrahim, an entrepreneur and women's empowerment advocate, equipping women with skills and opportunity for financial independence. Now, that's one important thing. We need the independence because, yes, we can get married to a rich man, but if he doesn't give you the money, it is not your money, right? So you need to have your own financial states. Make sure that you are capable of taking care of yourself, because at the end of the day, life happens. One moment, life could be good, the next moment is bad. So you prepare yourself for the worst, although you are hoping for the best. So I'll stop talking right now and pass the torch to Hajia.
Women are supposed to be in bed and be saved, but I'm a family woman, first of all. And so I need to do what Allah has asked me to do since I am married. I'm happy. And please, I apologize again for coming late. All of you have my heart. Any day, any time, if you need guidance, if you need counseling, if you need directions, if you need a big sister to speak to, you can always. I have my emails on all my books, Hey Diamond. You know, I wrote that book with all of you in mind. Wherever I have gotten to, the positions I get, the opportunities I get, the platforms I get to speak is because of how intentional I have become. All of you know, my mantra in this life is intentionality. And the way you sit down, very beautiful, I see a future of young girls who have grown to become phenomenon. You demonstrate that power. But a lot of times where we come from, our identity, our religion, the homes we come from, sometimes our parents, their marital status, we tend to allow it to affect us. I'm here to tell you that I am late, but I want you to know that there's no circumstance that can hinder your progress in life, unless you allow it to hinder your progress. What did I say? There is no circumstance that can hinder your progress in life, unless you allow it to hinder your life. So you are a female, you are a girl that will be pointed at as Dubata Tafto Zongo, Yaran Zongo. What can they do? When I was growing up, I used to hear it. In fact, I wanted to become a broadcast journalist. There are certain times I don't talk about this because anytime I want to talk about it, I feel emotional about it. But at that time, there was that discrimination that Pepening hijab, obeye den duku. When we say hijab, we tend to limit it to just this one. But we do turbans, we do scarf, we do other things. We cover our head, long story short. There was that tag, Pepening zongo for they are rowdy, they are like that. But it's a lie. When you come to my office, I sit amongst 12 men. I'm the only female. And I am a Muslim. I am a married woman. I've gone to school. I'm furthering my education. I have accomplished, and I am inspiring you. Today, I am late, but I want you to go home with one thing from me. There is no limitation, whether or not you are a female, whether or not you come from Nima, Mamobi, Newtown, Medina, Ashaiman Zongo, Shukura, Sabo Zongo. There is absolutely no limitation unless you allow yourself to be limited. So unforeseen contingencies will happen. You may not come from a good background. Your parents are not rich. In natural sense, rich is relative, because if I choose to wear this and you choose to wear this, it's in your mind. How confident you are to carry yourself around is in your mind. So there is no limitation. Young girls ni inda mudu kamuke zone na ngamuka kaida wadanda kuka samatan abinda muke yuduka. Once you admire it and you aspire to want to be like it, kusach kianka linku kama kuyi. Ama shade the hankali. The Hausa is not there. Shade the niya. Shade the hankali. Shade the hidima. Shade the focus. So please, I have come late and I'm apologizing again. I would have loved to have pep talks with you and talk for a very long time. The strength is not even there. So please, I believe in you. Your parents believe in you. Society, all your peers, your friends, everybody, community, everybody believes in you. Do not ever give up on your aspirations. Remember, I believe in you and everybody else believes in you. But it begins with you as a woman. Thank you.
I'll say it sucks. It sucks. But you see people funding it because it's okay for them. So when I find myself in the writers community and I'm talking about how I'm not seen and all that, I get emotional and it hurts because I've put in so much to tell our story, and even in our community, nobody pays respect to the film community because it used to be around. Now they're accepting it. So inshallah we'll get there. Yeah, because I remember growing up when I said I wanted to be an actor. And it's true. Like some of the stories doesn't project the narrative that Muslim women should project, right? Yeah, I get that. So then I changed. Then I want to be a writer. And I've been writing for a while now. But a movie got premiere. I write for like a lot of people, but because there is no money, I can't complain. So moving forward to the award segment. So initially, we're going to go give the awards, then do iftar and everything. But I think we will rush the award process kakrabi because of time. We that we've talked for a while now, my mouth is dry. Every great community is built on foundation of knowledge, guidance, and mentorship. The Exemplary Woman Award recognizes a woman whose lifelong dedication has shaped generations and strengthened the community. Our recipient is a dedicated educator and headmistress who has spent over 30 years nurturing the potential of Zongo children. Through her leadership at God's Will Special Preparatory School, she has provided quality education and mentorship, ensuring that young minds are equipped for success. Beyond her school, she continues to advocate for educational development and uplifts private schools in underserved for her incredible commission. Please, let's clap. Let's keep clapping. The second award is the
Trailblazer.
Exactly. It goes to Hajia Zuleya to Kasam. Zelia, the trailblazer. The award is for a woman who has boldly paved new path, redefining what is possible for Muslim women. She is a leader, a change maker, and a force of inspiration. Her recipient is a fashion designer, activist, and philanthropist who is breaking stereotypes in the fashion industry. Throughout her work, she empowers Muslim women to express themselves confidently, proving that modest fashion and bold ambition goes hand in hand. She has also been a leading voice in advocating for women's rights, using her influence to uplift others. Please join me in honoring Hajia Zalia Hassan. Please, let's keep clapping. Impacted communities, creating access to opportunity and resources. This award honors selflessness, dedication, and service to others. Our recipient is a journalist and a child rights advocate who has devoted herself to education, storytelling, and menstrual health awareness in the Zongo community and beyond. Through her initiative, she has empowered countless young girls with knowledge, ensuring they have the confidence and tools to succeed. She is a firm believer in the power of education and advocacy, using a platform to raise awareness to issues affecting women and children. Please, 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 let's welcome and celebrate Binta Al-Hassan Ibn Kimba. Please, let's keep clapping. The next award is the Inspiring Leader Award. Now, leadership is not just about title. It's about impact, vision, and uplifting others. The Inspirational Leader Award is for a woman whose work, determination, and influence inspires others to dream bigger and reach higher. Our recipient is a visionary entrepreneur, media professional, and a women's empowerment advocate. Through her mentorship program, business initiative, and advocacy, she has provided opportunities for women to gain financial independence and build sustainable future. She led by example, proving that hard work, passion, and purpose can change lives. Mashallah. Please help me welcome and celebrate Hadiza Ibrahim. But maybe, wait, you know her as Kubura Diamond. Please clap for her. Thank you very much. Other Jews, OP Studios, Suhood Events, they did the deco for us. Hafiz TV, and this facility, Aminu Initiative Ghana, they provide us with the space, and because of them and numerous donations, we're able to host this. It may be something small, but it took a lot to get this done. So let's clap for all our sponsors.
Before we leave here, I'm not going to appeal for fans, so please don't run away. But what I do is that I believe in the power of the people, and I believe that we can change our lives without having to run to everybody or anybody. I see Ina do appeals every day, every Friday, 5 Saturdays. It's the same thing I do. And I believe that is what has brought us here. But before I leave, I am pledging that every week I will donate to Ina. The 5 cedis she asks for every week, I will send. But I don't know how many of us here can also pledge to support what Ina is doing. Please, if you can, please raise your hand. Ina's team, please, where are you? Write names, write contacts, and make sure you mobilize resources and build it up on this. I'm doing this for you for free, oh. So please, if you are here, and let's say every month or every week, you can give Ina 5 cedis, like she asks, all of us, we, including them, yes. Like, I just want us to support what Ina does, if we can. So, this is what I can do. If from here you can, please see Ina and let her know the support you have for what she does. Thank you.
And sometimes I even forget about her. I'm sorry, maybe because she's so close to me. So for what she put up today, I'm sure it took a lot. And for that, I'm giving her 2,000 cedis.
Mashallah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mashallah.
Now, this event, in as much as it's not just about those receiving the awards, it's about us sitting here. This is a chance for you to know that you can also achieve to be more. Like, I'm not being disrespectful, but where they are right now, that's not the only limit. There is more places we can push to. You see, so if she's not near hers, we are still the Toka, right? You see, so we have a lot of work to put in. And remember, hard work, once you put in the hard work and you are consistent about it, you can push forward. Like, I'm standing here talking like this and everything. I didn't just stand up and be doing this. At an event, nagbate, but today, even with Azumi Krampo, it's a lot better, right? So clap for me, please.
Hafiz TV, unique every day.